Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I love y'all. Yeah, I'm adopted. Bring me my backpack from the car.
All right. Peace and blessings, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. The clip that you just saw was of the group, the NFAC. And I'm going to tell you what that means in a minute. They were marching through the streets of Louisville about 4 years ago in response to the Breonna Taylor incidents. And they've also, showed up in several other cities around the states in response to some of the injustice that we have seen within the past recent years. Now, from my understanding, don't quote me, the group, the NFLC, and I'll tell you what that means, started about 2017, and it is the brainchild of Mr. John Fitzgerald Johnston, aka Mr. Jam Master Jay, who you will see in this next video, giving some of his ideology. Now, I've spoken to, few members of the organization. They've reached out to me in some of the cases that I've covered and offered, escort or protection in some regard in some of the matters that we have seen. So shout out to those brothers and sisters who exercise their Second Amendment right. But I want you to watch this next video because it sort of, details some of the things that they do, but it also details, again, how the media attempts to portray Black people who exercise their Second Amendment rights lawfully, as opposed to some of these other extreme groups who, kind of break the laws, and, they try to lump these people in with those people. And also, I'm going to give you some information on Grandmaster Jay and his legal battle, as you will hear, as he has been indicted on some frivolous charges, all because I believe he was able to galvanize people to come out, to band together, and most of all, exercise their Second Amendment right to bear arms in the face of injustice. But just watch this video and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Now to the concerns of another community that too often feels unprotected, and the group that's stepping up to do something about it. They're known as the NFAC, an unarmed all-black militia. You might have seen an armed black militia that you might have seen at protests in Georgia, Kentucky, and D.C. Joining us now from Atlanta with more on this, NBC News correspondent Morgan Radford. Morgan, tell us about this group.
Mika, good morning. The bottom line is this group says that the U.S. government, as well as law enforcement, simply does not do enough to protect Black Americans in this country, which is why they say they're taking matters into their own hands. And interestingly, Mika, this is a group that is growing. They say they now boast recruits in nearly every single state. So we decided to go and embed with them and see exactly what they're doing and why. Take a listen.
Where's Hunt?
The sounds of war, right here at home. This is the NFAC, an all-black militia with a mission to defend the Black community by any means necessary.
So this is training for one of the new chapters.
Yes. Appearing by the hundreds at protests from Stone Mountain, Georgia to Louisville, Kentucky, demanding justice for police killings and countering what they believe is the threat of right-wing militias. It's a movement started in 2017 by this man, former musician and Army veteran John Grandmaster J. Johnson.
Is the movement growing?
By leaps and bounds.
We met with him outside of Cincinnati, where he says another new chapter is now in the works.
The NFAC stands for the Not Effing Around Coalition.
What's behind the name?
The NFAC was born out of the last 4 years under the Trump administration. The deterioration of racial relations in this country. It means that you're preparing yourselves to defend yourselves.
While the group's style echoes the Black Panther Party of the 1960s, their goals are distinct, focusing on defense with the ultimate goal of a black ethno-state.
What makes us so different is that our goal is our own government, our own country, a place where we can determine our own future.
Is violence an option to reach your goals?
The United States was built on violence being an option. Violence should be the last option.
Extremism experts say the group is distinct from far-right militias.
They have not risen to the level of concern of, say, the 3%ers, the Oath Keepers. They have not engaged in violence. In fact, in most of their demonstrations, they have, in fact, coordinated their activities with police.
When you talk about January 6th, and we saw those rioters storm the Capitol, what do you say to critics who say you're no different from them? They're extremists, you're extremists.
Show me where we have done those things. They've killed people. They've disrespected the government to the point where they have invaded its sacred halls. Show me where we've done those things, because we have done none of them.
We were allowed rare access to one of their training sites at a secret location in rural Georgia.
We are now driving to the NFAC training facility.
We spoke to one member who chose to go by the code name Shy to protect her anonymity.
This one is the handgun.
Correct, yes.
And then what do you guys do next?
We are going to the area where we practice our primary weapons firing.
Why did you decide to join this movement?
It's for the cause. Black people, we need to learn how to defend it. This is definitely one way to do it.
Do you all, have normal jobs? You work in all different sectors? And
Absolutely. We're business owners, we're doctors, lawyers, we're your everyday person, anywhere from Walmart to the corporate sector.
What are you all training for?
We're training for self-defense.
A response to show they won't be scared or unprotected any longer.
Mika, we asked the group several times to give us an exact number of their membership. They refused to do so, but it appears to be in the thousands based on the number of people who have come to their marches and also based on the number of people who saw at one individual training session. But it's also important to note, Mika, that the NFAC has no record of violent incidents. However, their leader, Grandmaster Jay, has been recently indicted on federal charges by federal officials who allege that he pointed a rifle at officers during that demonstration in support of Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky last September. That case is ongoing. He has pleaded not guilty, and we are waiting to find out the results of that case, Mika.
Right. Morgan Radford, thank you for that incredible report.
All right. So you heard the newscaster talking about, thank you for that incredible report. She was almost speechless, but a couple of things in that interview, kind of leapt out to me. Definitely them trying to get a number. I always trying to identify. Why focus on trying to get a number? Let's focus on stopping the issues that the number has came together for. Trying to get a number, trying to get a gauge on how many of it, how big is this movement, how powerful in this movement. I don't know if you saw in the first clip, there were regular, everyday citizens walking around with that group, bearing their own arms as well. So it's the number makes no difference. Think about the number of Black people in America that are tired of seeing what they are tired of me. So that is what you need to worry about. You don't necessarily have to worry about this group. As the commentator said, this group has no record of violence. They're not like the Proud Boys, the 3%ers, whoever those groups are that go around and, they take extreme measures. And so just because these people are coordinated, they are deliberate, they are organized, then, you know, that is the danger. Point blank right there. That is the danger where you have black people and a black man like, you know, our brother John Fitzgerald Johnson, Grandmaster Jay, who was able to, once again, galvanize people together. That is a threat. If you remember the movie Malcolm X, when Malcolm X had the brothers down at the precinct to see about, coincidentally, Brother Johnson, and, you know, Malcolm said, all right, to the hospital. And that police looked out the window. He was like, that is way too much power for one man to have, especially a black man. And we have known throughout history, throughout the COINTELPRO, the FBI, their main goal is to prevent the rise of a black messiah. So that's why you see the assassination of all of these leaders who are able to galvanize the people into a concerted effort for one common cause, like our brother Jam Master J, not Jam Master J, rest in peace, Grandmaster J. And like the article said, currently he is being held in federal prison. I think he got a sentence for 7 years for allegedly pointing a gun at an officer. From the people that I've spoken to, they said, you know, at one of the demonstrations, you know, they have their guns, you know, you supposed like you do a sweep of something like that. And when he did the sweep, they said the gun pointed at some FBI agents on the roof, something like that. Basically, some pardon the pun, trumped up charges that they put on the brother. But, you know, once again, it's I'm white and I say so. When you definitely have a man like that, so they gave him like a 7-year sentence. I think he's slated to get out maybe in a year or two. But I think the brothers and sisters from the NFAC, once again, the name means not effing around coalition. They are trying some legal measures to get him out. I just actually spoke to one of the brothers and sisters the other day. So I applaud my brothers and sisters. You know, I see what they're doing. I see the need for what they're doing. But I also look at the other side too, because like I said, I've been in contact with them. I've spoken with them. I had an opportunity to maybe even bring them down here. But what we see in many times is when we exercise that right to demonstrate, to bear arms, to make statements, then we are done like our brother Grandmaster Jay is done. Okay, we're going to put you in. We can't get you for nothing else, but we're going to make up something more. You know, next thing you know, this person is inciting a riot or, you know, plotting against the government, whatever the case may, whatever trumped up charge they'll throw on you. And when they throw it on you, of course, they have the resources, the backing, the power, to make those charges stick. So, you know, while, you know, just like they did the Panthers, they referenced the Panthers in the movie. The Panthers were organized, you know, very, very deliberate, had a 12-step program, but they once again infiltrated them, brought up charges, separated them, caused dissent amongst them, and destroyed the organization. So that's what we have to look forward to when we have powerful organizations like this and black people come together, is the threat of, you know, unjust charges or even, you know, violence like that. And then, the lady kept asking questions. Well, is this your normal job? Like, what do you, yeah, she was like, we regular people, just like the people in the KKK or the people in the Proud Boys. They're regular people. They go to work every day. And, you know, this just supposed to be some abstract group of black people that just came out of nowhere. No, they're regular people. And, you know, the other question, well, what are you training for? You know, it sounds like she's trying to get them to say something. Well, we're training, you know, for self-defense. You know, we're training because we're seeing all these things happen and nothing is being done by the police. And I like what my brother said. Fitzgerald said, well, you know, what do you do, you know, when they compare you to these guys, you know, these guys on January 6th or these guys? He said, show me where we've done any of that thing. Show me where we've done any of that. And then she asked him about violence. My brother said, well, violence, America was built. He didn't really say this. I'm gonna add my own 2 cents in, but America was built on violence. You know, as Dick Gregory once said, Patrick Henry didn't say, give me liberty or give me, you know, a seat at the counter. He said, give me liberty or give me death. They fought. That, you know, the country was built on violence. Either against the British or even against the indigenous people of America. But he said violence is always an option, but it should be the last option. And I agree. You know, you don't want, you know, any conflict. You want to have a peaceable resolution when you have entities that have issues, you know, like, you know, any problem you have, you want to resolve it without, you know, going to that extreme. But of course, we know society that we live in, you know, that is part of the equation. And oftentimes that violence is perpetrated, as we've seen, by officials or extensions of the government on its own people. But shout out to my brothers and sisters of the NFAC once again. You know, y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Thank y'all for watching. Fair use, I use those videos and fair use for commentary and educational purposes. But as always, y'all see my number 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.